Old school Paul, new school Justin. Man, y'all still going to school though. Sit down, listen up. Father, son, y'all think it's just another one. Fade the Vader, they be grading players, all it's done is made the piper pay me, and they've been grinding lately. Up late, hit the waivers, don't hate the player, hate me. It's just a game, boy, never gifted one on Christmas. Instead I asked for ships to hit everything off my wish list. Check the litmus, do y'all really not get this? Hit this triangular shaped button, I don't want you to miss this. But I guess that's really none of my business. Me risky free, cruise with Paul and Justin just listening. Yards after contact and catch, that's a lot of distance. The kind of info make me wanna blow opponents' kisses. But I gotta be clear, there was one key difference. Relationship is deep in this vein of ellipses. Like how Justin agreed to washing all the dishes. I'm just grateful Paul turned the miss into the misses. Father, son, pie, get down on the get down. If you don't get it now, then get out. Father, son, pie, sit down and get rich now. If you're not feeling it now, then get out.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Father-Son Fantasy Football Podcast. My name is Paul.
My name is Justin. If you guys are new, please subscribe. We do two episodes a week in season. We have our trade targets episode right here, and then we have a DFS plays episode that goes out on, Friday afternoon. And if you guys didn't do the main slate, we told you to put Aaron Jones in your lineups, and hopefully you did that, because holy crap.
Wow.
I almost lost. I almost lost, Dad, in the home league. I was up by.
You should have lost.
I was
you only
up
won by 0.25 points. You won by.
I did, but I don't care.
You should have. You should.
I was up by 30. He had Aaron Jones, who had 50, and then I was stuck with Mason Rudolph's crappy, performance, and Mark Walton, and I snuck away barely with that nice little 0.26 point victory. I'm okay with it. A win's a win, and I'm still tied with first for you. I'm in second right now because you scored a lot of points.
Who just took over first place by points?
You did. You have a lot of points.
That's right.
Your team is the second best team in the league.
Who's the first?
You're looking at them.
It doesn't matter. Anyway, no matter whose team is what, you just make it into the playoffs.
I hope,
that's when things
happen.
I
hope. It's pretty cool, though, because we're first and second in the home league, and it's father-son. We're running it. We're the only, you and I, 6-2. So, come on.
All right, we'll give it up.
Come on. First and second in the, that's pretty good. It's not, that's pretty good. So, good job, us. First and second in our home league. And I hope I face.
Hey, and you got to win in the subscriber league too. Finally, to move up into 8th place.
It's all bunched up there. Still bunched up in the subscriber league.
Not bunched up. Dan.
All right, Dan. Hats off to Dan. Dan, you're taking.
Dan should have lost this week, and he came back and won. And I thought I would get a game closer to him because I'm right there in second place.
You are right there in second place. Your team's looking good. Most points in the league is actually you. So
I do have the most points in that league.
I'm not scoring a lot.
You hear that, Dan? You hear that, Dan? Most points in the league.
8 teams making playoffs. It's 4-4 all the way up to 4th place. There's 5 teams that are 4-4, and I'm gonna win this week. So hopefully some lose, so I can go ahead of them. Stompy's in 3rd. I beat Stompy 5-3. One of those losses to me. You're 5-3. One of your losses is also to me.
I play Stompy this week, I think, in a subscriber league.
Oh, you play Stompy.
I play Leotard Man.
You do play Leotard Man. What's your thoughts about this Leotard Man?
He's going down, of course.
Of course.
Of course he is.
Why do you say that?
Just look at my team and his team. He's done.
He's done. Mahomes may be back, though.
He's not back this week.
All right, probably not. But we're going to talk about who did well, who didn't do well. So Aaron Jones is, I guess, a good place to start off.
Well, you might as well start with Rodgers and him. I mean, who you want to start with? Aaron Jones? Let's start with Rodgers. Rodgers' last 2 games.
I don't even know. I don't know. Rodgers shared that one throw at the back of the end zone to Jamal Williams.
Listen, he's the leading candidate right now for MVP.
No, I disagree still. I think you have to look at McCaffrey, or you possibly look at Russell Wilson.
Any one of them guys can win. I'm just saying right now he is leading the MVP race. The last 2 games, he has 767 total yards, 9 total touchdowns, 75% completion rate.
Against 2 bad defenses.
Yeah, I agree with you. He picked apart the Chiefs' defense with ease.
Aaron Rodgers is 0-37 when trailing against a winning team in the 4th quarter. I think that just says it all right there. Like, yeah, he's doing well these last 2 games, but one of the games on the line, one of the most least clutch quarterbacks. I don't know. I'm an Aaron Rodgers hater.
What's pretty impressive with Aaron Rodgers is he doesn't have Devontae Adams. He's been throwing this last game to his running backs who were covered by linebackers. Really. I mean, he just tore them up. Back now, Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones in our home league.
Mismatch.
In our home league scored 54 points. he was unstoppable, dude. It was 13 rushes for 67 yards, caught 7 passes for 159, 2 touchdowns, making awesome strides as a receiver this season. I mean, he's nearly doubled his average, his aerial output from last season. They talked about he needed help in the receiving game. Well, he's showing it this year.
Want to know what's crazy?
What's crazy
is that Devontae Adams probably comes back this week. Like, their offense is going to be nice. And then not even that, I've heard more rumors, saying Josh Gordon's probably going to go to the Green Bay.
Well, Josh Gordon, if you have Josh Gordon somewhere,
if you have Josh Gordon going to Green Bay, I think it helps him out more because you can't really. It's hard to thrive with the alpha receiver in the Patriots. Like the last time you saw it was Randy Moss and Deion Branch. Other than that, there's no real big alphas that really do well. So I think that Josh Gordon could succeed in Green Bay. So if people dropped him in your league and you're in the playoffs, I would definitely look for adding Josh Gordon. Anyone else that did well? You want to say? We already talked about Aaron Jones.
Well, now you're talking about Aaron Rodgers. So let me he's one of my sell highs this week.
Aaron Rodgers.
Listen,
the quarterback.
Of course, Aaron Rodgers is one of the greats. There's no question about it. But his back-to-back huge fantasy weeks will not last. In his next few games, he plays the Panthers, the 49ers, and the Vikings. So it's going to be tougher for him to continue what he's doing. But he's off to a great start. So if you can sell him high. He's on my team. I'm not selling him. I'm going to keep him. But I'm telling you, if you have to make your other team better, because my team overall I think is pretty good, but in order to make your team better, sell them high and get some players that can help you because playoffs are coming.
I'd also sell Aaron Jones still. I've been opponents selling Aaron Jones. It's hard because he looks good. Your receiving works there, but you just never know with the Green Bay running backs. You just never know, and I think it's a perfect sell high. I'm not selling
Aaron Jones.
You can get so much for him right now. I'm not saying selling short.
Yeah,
it's sell high for a reason.
But
You can if I get I guess some buy lows we're talking about. If I could package up Aaron Jones for Michael Thomas, I would do that. I would even probably send Aaron Jones for Chris Godwin plus someone else you probably get back now. We'll go through some buy lows soon. I don't have any big buy lows this week, but I have some good buy lows. But I don't know. Aaron Jones possible sell high depending on what you can get back for him. I think we're talking good performances. Juju Smith-Schuster
finally got in the end zone. Finally had a decent
not even
week.
that catch he had. Nice little Moss action on there, but he couldn't really separate from Xavier Howard. They had some thing on Twitter where he couldn't really get free, but like it's gonna happen. Xavier Howard's one of the best corners in the NFL, and yeah, he locked up Juju for some of the game and sat the whole fourth quarter. But Juju with a nice little Moss. Juju got back against Miami, so sell high on Juju because that offense just does not look that great. Mason Rudolph looks human. I'd also sell high on James Conner because of an injury, and I don't know.
I think he's going to be done, isn't he?
I don't know if I had done. I heard he was day to day. I heard day to day. It's very up in the air right now. We have no official report. Recording's on Tuesday, so stay tuned to see.
Yeah, but I don't think he'll be playing for a while.
I'm okay with that. I have Jalen Samuels and both the home.
Samuels is coming back.
Hopefully, James Conner gets back healthy though. I like seeing him play.
One of the hottest teams in football that played well is the Detroit Lions.
Yeah,
you got the Stafford combo with Galore.
Galore went off, and hopefully you bought low, chasing the fade of last week. So it was just an outlier because this week Galore looked unreal. I guess you could kind of say that one catch he had, he took it like a little baby. He's like, "Yo, give me that, it's mine." He took that away. 8 targets, 6 catches, 123 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 red zone target. I mean, hey, Galore had a game. 34 points.
Stafford continues to be hot. He was 25 of 32. 342, 3 touchdowns. Over the last 2 weeks, he has completed 71% of his passes.
Stafford
for 7 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. So between Jones the week before, Galore this week, and I think Amendola even had a decent. He had over 100 yards, I think, receiving. So just they're clicking right now. The Detroit Lions are clicking.
Galore on the year is 4th in air yards among all wide receivers, which I would really like to see. And his average at the target is 15.4 yards. That's beautiful. I love it. I'm very happy to be owning Kenny Galore in 2 of my leagues and in a home league. Yeah, you got lucky whenever I faced you because he had 3 points. But whenever he doesn't have 3 points,
it doesn't matter.
I'll see you in the championship.
Well, maybe
you just gotta make
it that far.
You gotta make it that far first.
You gotta make it.
You gotta make it that far.
All right. Well,
other good games. Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew looked good. He threw for 3 touchdowns, so very good for Gardner Minshew. Other performances that kind of stood out to me. Mike Evans. Video game numbers. This dude had all the targets. It was a great matchup. D-Bro wrote about it over at the Quan Edge in the 10 Facts article he has every week. He wrote about it. He even said, hey, this matchup, it's cake. I forget who was guarding him, but it was cake. So Mike Evans, 12 targets, 11 catches, 198 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Wow. So Godwin had a nice little low day. I would definitely buy low on Chris Godwin if you can. If that's possible. I mean, I don't know who's going to be really selling him.
I don't know who's going to give him up.
Think about it, though. We haven't really seen him do that well in 3 weeks. And it's been like, okay, it's been 3 weeks. It's not a lot of time. But people have like a little bit of, amnesia. They just forget kind of. Short-term memory loss. The bye week. And then following the bye week, he has like not that great of a game, like an 8-point game. People be like, oh, it's just Chris Godwin. When they're just going to discredit what he did the whole season. Because right now in my head, I'm like, oh, Chris Godwin, he's good, but he hasn't really done much in a while because he had a bye week and then he had this 10-point outing. He still had 8 targets, though.
Yep.
So I'm buying the targets. I'm buying it, and his playoff schedule is cake. Man, I say that. He's got Colts in week 14. You got the Lions week 15, and the Texans. Texans is going to eat up in championship week. So I'm looking for playoffs right now because most of my teams are in the playoff hunt, and I'm trying to make sure that if I make the playoffs, because it doesn't matter what you do from weeks 1 to 13. If you're in the playoffs, it's win or go home.
Exactly.
So my trade targets right now aren't even for the next couple of games unless I'm trying to make the playoffs still. But if I'm a team that's already sitting comfortably, like I'm pretty confident I can make the playoffs, I'm trying to trade for people that are going to go off for me in the playoffs. And Chris Godwin is going to be one of those guys.
That one guy who I don't think you're going to get now, you should have got him 2 weeks ago and was struggling, was Hopkins. Hopkins is now 2 good weeks in a row, over 100 yards in both games. He's targeted 28% of the time in the absence of Fuller this week. Everybody says Kenny Stills was going to be doing something, but I think he didn't even get 6 fantasy points this week.
Yeah.
But Fells got in for 2 touchdowns. I mean,
Fells got 2 touchdowns. That 1 touchdown with Deshaun Watson when he got kicked in the face. Unreal.
Wow.
He said like
he got kicked in the face. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
That was probably one of the best touchdown throws I've ever seen in my life. And he even said he couldn't even see. He didn't even know he scored a touchdown.
No, right.
He even said the only way he knew he threw a touchdown was because of the crowd.
Right.
So Deshaun Watson continues to do Deshaun Watson things, and I'm loving every second of it because I have him, and he's my top 3 favorite quarterback. Who didn't do well this week, Dad? I mean, we're talking about people who did well. Who did not do well? Oh, you can say it. Go for it. Baker Mayfield sucks.
Who? What? What did you just say?
Dude, I didn't even say it on my Twitter. I have it. He's a glorified Mitch
How
Trubisky.
about like when most quarterbacks go hike and they flip it, it counts as a pass to their running back, and they usually score a touchdown. What does he do? They're coming after him. He throws it right to the defender of the Patriots. He didn't even know it had him. Hit him in the shoulders. Boom. Interception. What was that? Explain that to me about your new Cleveland Brown team. Come on.
I got nothing. I got nothing.
They're not even making the playoffs, and you're talking Super Bowl 8 weeks ago.
I never said Super Bowl.
8 weeks ago, Super Bowl.
Right now, 5 wins is looking optimistic. But I was Nick Chubb, that fumble he had when his offensive lineman kicked it out. Are you serious? And then today, the trade deadline was nothing. A lot of rumors came around, but Trent Williams for the offensive tackle for the Redskins. He was supposedly on the block. Apparently, the Redskins wanted Denzel Ward plus. Like, what are you doing? Like, why? It's not even like a thing. But Browns just don't look good. Again, granted, it was the Patriots, and I don't know. No good takeaways from that game. Baker's got to start clicking, and if they don't win this next week against Denver, if we don't win, then Freddie Kitchens has to go. He has to, because you can't have this much talent on your team, because you can't deny there's talent on this team, Dad. You can't. There's talent on this team.
Well, there's a lot of talent.
So if you were going to tell me that you're Freddie Kitchens and you're going to go 2 and 6, 8, no 2 and 7, no 2 and 6. 2 and 5.
Let me remind you of a table bet we had.
No, I don't. No, because you want to do this for the podcast. Don't even do it. Yeah,
you even put it on air on someone else's podcast. You even put it on there.
Because I had to. I was a guest. I had to get the people going. If I didn't make that bet, then the show wouldn't have been as good. That bet made the show better.
I said the Giants would be over 4. Well, I'm halfway there.
So am I. I'm halfway to 4.
You said Cleveland over 12. Really? Is that 2 seasons combined?
I count.
Because I think this season.
I count preseason.
That ain't happening.
I count preseason.
They are the most overrated team in football. Baker Mayfield's got a lot of growing up to do.
Yeah, he's got to realize. I mean, all the endorsement deals he did this offseason.
It's a matter of time. I said it before Odell complains he's not getting the ball enough, just like he did in New York.
He's getting
enough of the sorry Browns. I can't even talk to you about them because you're a traitor,
dude.
You're a traitor for worse. The Giants look better than they do.
Fuck the Giants.
Daniel Jones looks better than him.
Daniel Jones look good. Yeah, I don't care. This dude's got to fix some stuff still too. He's like EY 2.0. Regardless, I'm over here sitting with the Brown fan, not looking good. Now, I don't want to talk about who else did bad.
Just one other guy I'd like to. Just one other guy who's in the
Who do you
absence
want to
of
insult
Kamara.
here? Oh,
In the absence of Kamara, Latavius Murray's playing unbelievable football. He rushed 21 times for 102 yards and a touchdown, and 9 of 12 targets for 55 yards and another touchdown. For the second straight game without Kamara, he's been exceptional. Right?
he has been pretty good.
So let's talk about bad games. Odell Beckham.
I don't want to talk about bad games. We already talked about bad games. I want to go into trade. I want
Odell
to
Beckham.
go into trade
5
targets.
of 7 for 52.
Yeah, because the average at the target was like 3 yards. The fact that he was going out to Stephen Gilmore and still caught 5 of 7 targets is from Baker Mayfield. That's pretty good in the rain. I mean, what receiver has done anything against Stephen Gilmore all season? No one. So I'll take that. But yeah, it's just stupid. I need Freddie Kitchens to stop calling the plays and give it to Todd Monken. I've been saying this for 3 weeks now. It's week 8 and you're still not gelling, and you're 2-5. What, like, dude? You're obviously not working. So
All right, go to some buy lows. Let's do some buy lows for the people.
Getting angry. Okay. So, buy lows. I mentioned it last week. I'm sticking with it, dude. Mike Williams is the biggest buy low for me because this dude is 7th among all wide receivers this whole year in air yards. 7th in air yards. All right. And not only that, he has a 31% market share of the air yards on the team. You take away some of the weeks he didn't play. So you look at the last 3 weeks. You look at week 6, 7, and 8. I'm going here. Air yards. Mike Williams is number 7 again, and he has a 20% target share in his offense. And now, going into the offseason, coming into the season, Dad, what was Mike Williams? What was he known for? Think about it. Last year, what did he do?
The deep threat.
And what else did he do? He did a lot of what that was unstable. I said. You said he was going to catch. He had
touchdowns.
Yep, a big touchdown guy, right? Last year he had like 13. How many has he had this year?
I don't know.
0 touchdowns this year for Mike Williams, the guy who was notorious for scoring touchdowns. So you're going to fade that. Positive regression is due. This guy is going to get in the end zone sooner rather than later. They just fired Ken Wisenhunt. They just fired the offensive coordinator.
I know.
I
you
think
can say the same thing about Keenan Allen, right?
I'm buying both.
The Chargers have to eventually realize that they need to target Allen a lot more. If they don't, then they're just neglecting an opportunity for themselves to be a better team, is what I think. Okay? They were 6-3 in games where Allen had at least 10 targets during the 2018 and 2019.
Yeah. They do have to target Allen more.
I don't understand why they're not using him. I really don't.
That's why they just fired Ken Wisenhunt. They just fired the offensive coordinator, so it's probably a good thing moving forward. So I'm buying Mike Williams. I'm also buying Keenan Allen. And once again, I'm going to be buying Robbie Anderson. And I don't care to suggest, yeah, they suck, but the schedule is literally the easiest thing in the world these next few weeks, and it's, I think, the best fantasy schedule moving forward. They have Miami this week. I think they got the Giants in there. They have Miami again. So I am buying Robbie Anderson because of how easy the schedule is moving forward. So Miami this week, I'm just expecting hopefully something. So Miami, the Giants, and Washington, Oakland, Cincinnati, Miami, Baltimore, Pittsburgh. That's cake. No hard defenses there. Sure, Pittsburgh, but hopefully Sam Darnold gets a little tiny bit of a groove by the time he faces Pittsburgh in Week 16. You have a buy low for us, dude?
Well, I have a couple, actually, but the
Give me
one that I really like
one.
is Carson Wentz.
Why do you like Carson Wentz as a buy low?
Because owners are fed up with the way he's playing this year. He's been inconsistent, and the Eagles have rarely aired it out like many thought they would be. But there are 2 reasons why Wentz is a great buy, okay? First, he should be getting Deshaun Watson back.
Whoa.
Right?
Whoa. Who?
Which changes the entire offense. Go ahead, what?
You said Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Jackson. I love doing that.
He's getting Deshaun Watson back. They're about to be elite, the best quarterback duo in the league.
All right, he's going to be getting Deshaun Jackson back soon.
That's big. That is big.
Which changes the entire offense, right? The lack of a deep threat has been killing him in many ways. Second, his schedule for the week 13 through 16, which is during the fantasy playoffs, right, is very enticing. You got the Dolphins, you got the Giants, you got the Redskins, and you got the Cowboys. So I'm buying low on Carson Wentz.
That's a good buy low. I'm not a big quarterback. You know what I'm selling high on? Jared Goff. You're talking about sell highs. He's just not good. Easy part of his schedule is over. I'm selling high on Jared Goff. You're gonna keep.
I agree with that.
Not a buy low for you. I mean, it's not gonna be easy to get it done. Most likely, it's not even really a buy low. Allen Robinson. Didn't really have a great week this week, but last week, he had 16 targets. This week he had 7 targets. Regardless, 23 targets on 15 catches for his last 2 games, and he's also 5th in the league in air yards. I look at the air yards because air yards is what's important to me when I look at these buy low candidates. Who's the outliers here? Who's getting all these air yards, but who's not converting? I'll tell you who else isn't converting, dude. Curtis Samuel is not converting.
No, he's not.
He's not converting. 11 targets, 4 catches the last 2 games, and
a lot of the throws this week though were out of his reach.
He had a touchdown that was, if it was a better thrown ball this week, he would have had a touchdown. It's just he would have. But I really like Curtis Samuel moving forward. I like him as a buy low. He had 11 targets this week because he had a bye week last week. 11 targets this week. 11. Curtis Samuel. And 159 air yards, which I think is I think he was 3rd among all wide receivers this week. If airyards.com loaded. Yeah. He was 4th. No, 5th. 5th among all wide receivers this week in air yards.
But that's going to change when they get Newton back probably.
Yeah, Newton's not an accurate deep ball thrower, but I'm hoping he can still get the ball. So I'd probably buy low because people may be scared of the Newton thing. Why not? Another good buy low for everyone out there. Christian Kirk. 11 targets in his first game back, 8 catches, 122 air yards, and his weighted opportunity rating of .78. Now, that's pretty high for a weighted opportunity rating, and it is because it is the 5th highest.
For the 3 games he missed,
5th highest.
He was Murray's favorite target this week.
He was. And nice little sneaky little ad for people is Josh Reynolds. I'm adding Josh Reynolds in all leagues where I am and any wide receiver help because guess what? Cook's concussion again. I believe that's his 5th concussion in the NFL, which is kind of crazy. So hopefully he's fine, but he got shooken up.
I got him on a team. How about that? For the first minute of the game, he's out. Big fat 0 points.
Rough. And I'll tell you who else is a good buy low, but you don't have to buy him low this week.
Jordan Howard. Buy in on Jordan Howard.
Okay, no, this is a Miles Sanders podcast.
Listen,
you can't even say that. I'm selling high on Miles
just
Sanders.
Like other people have been waiting for Miles Sanders to break out. And many will
assume I'm selling high on Miles Sanders. The big breakout game, dude, he doesn't got many carries.
You're going to buy low on Jordan Howard.
I'm buying. All right, yeah. In Dynasty, you're getting
Sanders received only 6 touches and played 18% of the snaps. Howard remained their workhorse. If someone wants to sell Howard because they think they saw a changing of the guard, take advantage and ride Howard for the rest of the season as an RB2.
That's fair.
Okay, forget about Sanders.
Whoa.
Howard is the guy.
I still like to buy sell high on Sanders because you can sell him now, and I think for dynasty purposes, I'm buying.
Who's going to buy him? Who's going to buy him?
I'd like to buy him.
I got one more buy low for you.
Yeah, all right. So you can sell high on Miles Sanders, probably get a good return on him. You got one more buy low, you said? If it's not Terry McLaurin, you're wrong.
No, Mark Andrews.
Oh, that's a good buy low.
He had his worst game of the season in week 7. He had 2 catches for, I think, 35 yards, something like that. And then was on a bye week in week 8. So this might want to make owners deal a player like that. Throw some offers out for Andrews, as he has been a top 5 option at tight end this year, and that should continue.
Yep. Now, Terry McLaurin is my favorite buy. I'll tell you why. Because if you're in the playoffs, if you're guaranteed in the playoffs kind of thing, I would definitely trade for Terry McLaurin. This week, he has Buffalo, who's top 5 against the wide receiver position, then a bye week. And people, you're going to see his last 2 games, 2.1 against San Francisco in the big monsoon of a game with waterfalls coming from the sky. Then he goes against Minnesota, 6 targets, 4 catches, had the touchdown basically negated by pass interference on the defense, so they went to the 1-yard line. And now he's got Buffalo. Then he's got a bye. After his bye, though, the schedule lightens up. It's the Jets, it's Detroit, it's Carolina, Green Bay, and in the playoffs, he has the last 2 games of the Eagles and the Giants. This is just wheels up for Terry McLaurin come playoff time, and the dude is good. And people can keep sleeping, he's a rookie, it's not consistent. No. They're going to be behind a lot because the Washington football team is not good. So I'm buying Terry McLaurin where I can, but I really like that Mark Andrews buy you had too. And for people listening right now, and they're like, oh, should I really trade for these players? I'm pretty good when it comes to trading, dude. I sniped it last week. I sniped the freaking Tevin Coleman buy low. You mentioned it too. We mentioned it. Tevin Coleman buy low. I sniped the DeAndre Hopkins buy low. I'm still saying buy low on Odell Beckham because the schedule gets so much lighter and it's got to come to fruition. I'm doing good with my buy lows this year. I've hit on a lot of them. So if you guys are listening, I would definitely target almost all these players because not all of them are going to hit. I'm not saying I'm 100% perfect. I'm saying most of the time I like to think of myself as getting most of them right. But yeah.
which is fair enough.
Yeah, and then sell highs, we already mentioned some of them. But anything else you want to add? Anything else you want to say?
Well, sell high. I already gave you Aaron Rodgers. I'm going to say another sell high would be Julio Jones. Right? Jones has struggled for much of the year compared to what his fantasy owners are used to. After a huge week 8 where he had 10 receptions for 152 yards, it might be time to sell. The Falcons are going nowhere.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere, but it could be down by a lot because their defense sucks. So that's why it's possible. If you can get probably a good amount back for Julio, I would definitely sell.
Right, because after his week 9 bye, he faces the Panthers twice, the Saints twice, and the 49ers. All good defensive units.
Yeah.
Although the Falcons are going to have to pass, no matter how you look at it. Julio will probably have the top corner on him, so now would be the perfect time to sell high.
Does it really matter for Julio? No, but like it's a good sell high. It's a very good sell high.
It's going to be difficult with those defenses he's going to have to face.
You know, if you can get a good return for Julio, I would definitely sell.
Because
Julio.
You can still get good value, I think, because the Falcons are going to have to throw no matter how you look at it.
Yeah,
they're going to be behind in almost every game. They're going to have to throw.
That's fair. Yeah, I would sell Julio if you can. I've been burned by this before, though. I remember a couple years ago going into the fantasy playoffs.
Yes.
I had Julio Jones, and I traded him away for DeAndre Hopkins. This was like I think 4 or 5 years ago because I was like, oh, he's got to face Josh Norman on Carolina twice in the fantasy playoffs. Let me tell you, I made it to the championship game, and I lost because Hopkins had like 12 points, and Julio against Josh Norman had 43, and I would have won if I kept Julio Jones. So sometimes I can burn you, but if you can get a good return for Julio Jones, I would definitely trade him. And that's going to do it for today's podcast, bro. So we're going to be back for our DFS episode on Friday afternoon. Stay tuned for it. Follow Twitter at FatherSonFF. You can follow me over at JustinFSFF. And where can they follow you?
Paul at FSFF.
There you go. Something like that. I'll figure it out. So, yeah, if you guys are new, please subscribe. Made it this far. Let us know what you think about your trade targets. And, yeah, we'll see you guys later.
See ya.